I'm sorry, I can tell you.
Got it. Beautiful Death, live at Bodega, Nottingham.
Holy shit.
Bodega. We would only play there once, right? Because it was mostly Rock City.
Yeah. It's upstairs of Bodega, isn't it? Above the bar.
Wow.
The dressing room was just a curtain.
As was most of that.
Yeah, it was around the corner, yeah.
I can't remember that.
Bodega's wild, man.
Mm.
I love that place. I mean, I love all these venues, but Bodega's nuts. So I had some crazy nights there.
It's a Beautiful Death. Wait, I don't. This is one of the songs. This is pure honesty, which is great for a travel chat. I have literally zero memory of writing this song. I reckon that means it came in the midpoint.
Just this one. I don't know.
Well, there's a point when you're right. Like, I remember writing a bit of Rotten Blossom and some of the others, but this one, it came when you're in that point where all you live and exist is writing a record, which happens for
Yeah, there's a window, isn't there?
You suddenly realise that you don't realise until afterwards, but you're like, okay, that's the bit where I lost all life.
Yeah.
And all we would do is make a record.
on writing every day,
Yeah. So this song was deep into it in that.
And obviously, like lyrically, it's like brutal. It's just about the realization of grieving for the first time as an adult and trying to compartmentalize that in your life in a way where it makes sense to you, which it doesn't. Like losing someone you love is just chaos. You just have to submit to it. There's no reason trying to make sense to it. That would be my advice to anyone who's struggling with that now, is like, don't try and find any kind of sense into it. Life is when you actually get down to the brass tacks of it, like life is just chaos, it's just happening all around us at all times.
Someone described it to me recently.
It is. There's a bunch of traumas and then you die and then you become a trauma for other people. But
never thought about it like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then you know, someone said Keanu Reeves had this incredible thing. Someone said, what happens when you die? And he said, what I know is the people who love us miss us. It's like, fucking, that's savage. Keanu's a king.
Yeah.
But to cut a long story short, like, there is absolutely no sense in trying to make sense of.
Was that where you were at when you wrote this though, or were you in the bit of trying to make sense of it?
I was absolutely trying to make sense of it.
So you've learned that almost by going through that song and life experience since, but at the time,
it wasn't even
someone writing about trying to figure it out.
Yeah, you know what it was at the time. I don't know if this is right or wrong to say, but I have to be honest with how it was written. I was, you know, my partner at the time, my wife at the time, like, her father passed away, and I was watching her grieving process and managing my own grieving process within it. And it was really difficult to watch, and it was like, you know, so there's parts of it where I guess that they're my words, but they're also like, they were sort of, never her words, but like, I was trying to connect the dots between it all, you know, because it was just.
You can write from other people's point of view and still be your own interpretation. But so that
I
was
still
a big factor
with
in
that. I didn't know because it's such a personal thing, you know. But I just remember how like brutally it hit me because I'd not like been through that as an adult, and so it's just but it was just so difficult when you're trying to make sense of it. And
it's just an exercise in everyone experiencing powerlessness, whatever that is.
Absolutely,
so you couldn't do anything to help or anything at all, and it's that's what essentially you go through.
Ultimately, it's about the sadness in celebrating someone for the first time when they can't appreciate it. Like we spend so much time like ignoring the people that we love, whether we mean to or not. Like life is busy, you just cruise around doing whatever.
People would find it weird if you suddenly celebrated them, and it's like
they would find it would be so awkward if you were just like.
Close as you get his birthday, and as you get older, people shut that down, and it becomes less of a thing, right?
But then they're gone, and it's just like there's this outpouring of love that everyone else feels, and that is such a beautiful thing. It really is.
Yeah, that shouldn't be taken away.
Exactly.
You should just filter some of that back into the.
Yeah, but then that you know that tour, I remember it was absolute catharsis for me because I was just still reeling from that as well.
I feel like the song had its natural end, if you like, at Brixton. Do you remember playing it there? I don't know why it felt like the last time that it had to be played as a staple, and now it's sort of a little bit more our choice.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
it's for sure.
Some songs are just like,
you give me the option because you know it's quite a difficult song for me to sing, and you've allowed me to have that choice every time now. But before it was always like it was a song that we had to play.
Yeah,
and that was part of the grieving process. But that now it's
not that your grieving was over. It's just that the song part of it had came to an end in it then, and it was a great end because that was the pin drop moment when you realised that almost no one has not had to deal with that subject matter.
Yeah,
and if they haven't, they will. And so then there's this like kind of eerie, almost horrible silence when we play that one.
Do you remember playing a download?
Yeah.
It was insane. Because we were in the middle of a fucking tent.
When is a festival ever silent? It's like
probably 5,000 people in that tent.
I think that's like 8,000. That tent. It's big. That was one of our biggest shows at the time.
And I was just in the middle of the crowd and made everyone sit down. And we sang that song.
And mostly in that period when I played, I would not really have much time to think because it was so frenetic and wild. And it was often that song where you would get everyone to sit down that I would sort of like become present in a nice way, because I think I try and do that in shows to try and take it in. But with that one, you become present and then you also start taking in what you're saying more in it. That was always like but yeah, Download was an insane moment for that song.
It was crazy.